Alright guys, what's going on? It's Brando the Nick here, and this is going to be just a brief review, really quick brief review on an ambulance company, an ambulance business. If you're looking at starting an ambulance business with like a fleet of vehicles, alright, that you can network with and partner with different hospitals and different medical services with, it's a lucrative business and it is pretty simple. It's not too complicated, but I'm telling you, dealing with a fleet of vehicles, alright, ambulances in a sense, buying them, it can be very costly. You're dealing with medical vehicles, right? So you have medical equipment and supplies in there. And just that process alone, having seen friends of mine actually go through this process, try and start their own, medical ambulance businesses and have fleets of vehicles that they had bought used and cost them anywhere from like $50,000 up to and over $250,000 just for a fleet of 5 vehicles. Alright, having seen them go through that and then dealing with managing and maintaining all that equipment, all that supplies, and even having employees help them out, it's a crazy process if you've never experienced it before, which is why if you're looking at this to just be your own boss, if you're looking at this just to be a business owner, if that's really what you're looking for out of starting your own ambulance business, which in essence can be as simple as buying a newer used ambulance and vehicle, alright, and making sure that it's legal to operate, that it meets with health and health standards and regulations depending on what state you live in and what city you live in, and it meets hospital standards as well. And once it does that, alright, you can just network and build relationships with people on LinkedIn, alright, with COOs of hospitals, okay, and from that point you can just start putting yourself through the door. But aside from that, if you're only looking at this because you just want to build a business to be your own boss and income, alright, you just want your own income, I would advise you, before you deal with the headaches of managing equipment, supplies, inventory, employees, medical supplies, and the whole fleet of vehicles, which can feel like you're part of a taxi company, a taxi owner, before you head down that path, I've got a lead I want to throw your way. Only if you're looking at this because you want to be a boss, alright, and you want to be able to, create and have your own income. And to save you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, my story with this goes back a year ago when I transitioned from a business model traditionally where I was dealing with supplies, equipment, employees, all that stuff that goes with an ambulance business, alright, and I came across a person who was building a business on the internet. Now, I won't tell you that the internet's the only way to go. That'd be a bunch of BS, but I will tell you this is important that you know to help you make an educated decision on how to build a business to get the results that you want, alright? And I want you to think about the results that you want here for a second while I share this with you, because this person was building a business without the overhead of supplies, equipment, employees, a fleet of vehicles, alright, without any of that stuff. So their profit was a lot higher because they didn't have that overhead, and because their profit was higher and they didn't have that overhead, they also had more time freedom because they didn't have to put in their time to manage and maintain all of that overhead. So I hope that makes sense. So they're actually able to work on the internet from their computer, travel around the world, build their business at the same time, maintain growth in their business at the same time, at least wherever there's Wi-Fi, right? And because they were doing this so lucratively, having time freedom, money freedom, and leverage, I started to model and copy what they're doing. I reached out to them on Facebook. It was really cool what they're doing, and it was very intriguing as well. And in less than about my first month, about 30 days, in total of 90 days, I was able to create a full-time income business from scratch on the internet, working part-time. Those aren't average or typical results. And I had to work my butt off, had to learn some things, but you'd have to do that with any business, which is why if you're looking at starting a business to be your own boss, if you're looking at starting a business to create time freedom, leverage, and flexibility, learn how to decrease your overhead and increase your profit margins. And the best tip I would give you before you consider starting an ambulance business, only if, I'm emphasizing this again, because only if you're looking at this to build a business, to create your own income, learn how to build a business on the internet. And if you're following me here and you're interested, you're willing to learn, you're willing to be coachable, and you want to learn to build a business online, this makes sense to you from a business perspective to get the results that you want, connect with me on my site. Check it out. It's 123marketingtips.com. I'll put a link in the description, and I'll see you on the beach of the world. Take care.